Once upon a time, there were two children who had superpowers. They were brother and sister, and their names were Charlie and Holly. Every night before bed, Charlie would put on his superhero outfit, which was red and blue, and Holly would put on her pink and purple one. Then they would go out into the garden and practice their superpowers. They had so much fun pretending to be superheroes fighting monsters. Sometimes they pretended that they could fly, and other times they pretended that they were invisible. They also pretended that they could read each other's minds, which was very useful when they were fighting monsters. One day they said, "Wouldn't it be great if we really could fly?" And then they looked at each other and said, "I believe we can." So they put on their superhero outfits and went into the garage to make a spaceship. They worked for a long time, and when they were finished, they were very proud of themselves because it looked just like a real spaceship. It even had a control panel with lots of flashing lights and buttons. And it had a big bed in the middle where they could lie down and pretend to be astronauts going to sleep. Then Charlie got into the spaceship and said, "Ready for takeoff, Holly." "Ready?" said Holly. And with that, the spaceship shot up into the air and flew out into space. They flew past the moon and the stars and saw lots of planets and rockets. They even saw some aliens, but they were friendly aliens, so they waved at them. After a while, Charlie and Holly started to get bored. They had fun flying around in the spaceship, but it wasn't the same as fighting monsters. There were no monsters to fight, and that's what they liked doing best. So they turned the spaceship around and headed back home. As they were flying, they started to feel a little scared, because now they had to land the spaceship. That was the hardest part of the adventure. But they took a deep breath and tried to remember everything they had learned about flying and landing spaceships. They did a very good job, and after a few minutes, they landed safely in their garden. It was nighttime by now, and all the houses on the street were dark. All the people inside were asleep, including their mummy and their daddy. Charlie and Holly were very tired from their adventure, so they took off their superhero outfits and crept into their beds without waking anyone up. Mummy and Daddy didn't know that their children had been on an adventure in their spaceship, and Charlie and Holly were very glad that their beds were soft and comfortable after a long day of flying. They snuggled under their blankets and closed their eyes, thinking about all the fun they had had. They couldn't wait for the next day when they would go on another adventure.